Howdy, folks. I was going to put a warning on this. I looked up the meaning of anti-Semitism on Wikipedia. And this is for total or partial opposition to Judaism and to the Jews as a religious group. Alright, so now I don't know whether I'm an anti-Semite or not because of this video. Because I'm going to go into something here that I've been watching these rabbis on YouTube that have converted to Christianity, and they tell why they converted, and what they were taught as Jews. And then you go into the major corporations like Federal Reserve and all the world banks and stuff like that. All the major media in the United States is all headed by Jews. Now, Jews being not the greatest percentage of population, why are they the greatest percentage in control of the money systems and media systems and these big corporations? Something tells me that they're helping each other out. You know, once one of them gets to the top, they help the others get up there. It's like a brotherhood. So what is it called if anti-Semitism is being anti-Jew? What is a Jew that's anti-Christian? Or I think they call us, oh gosh, what's... You know, they have another name for us. Not the infidel. No, the Muslim call us the infidels. It's all over the... Anyway. So, what is it when a Jew is intolerant of everybody else? I've learned that Jews, of course, everybody knows they don't believe in Jesus. They think the whole New Testament is an abomination. They don't believe that when you die, you go to heaven, or there's any way to get to heaven. You die, you're just dead. So they're antichrist. They're anti-Christian. At least the Orthodox ones. Now, here's what got me really studying this Judaism, or the traditional. How many people have still seen this? The guardians of Israel. Feed the hungry, help those in trouble. You're like we're saying, they call out Bible verses and all like this. And then, you know, we look at Israel. I mean, you can go to Wikipedia and look up Israel's economy. They're not doing that bad. Israel actually has a reserve fund. They actually have their government, not a big one, but they actually have a savings account for the government for, you know, unforeseen stuff. You know, like they have 2.5% of their GDP is held in reserve. So that country actually has a savings account, you know, and their debt problem is nowhere near what ours is. So they're in pretty good shape over there. Why are they starving? What's going on with this? Let's see here. Let's look at Israel. Let's pick a town. Tel Aviv. Well, now, Tel Aviv, yeah, let's look at Tel Aviv. Why not? Come on, zoom in. Oh, you're not going to zoom in for me now? There's a town. We'll just look at it. Any town. This is Taibib. Let's zoom in and see what kind of poverty we see here. Hmm? Oh, Google Earth doesn't want to give us sharp pictures of. It looks like your standard homes around the United States. What we would consider middle class. I mean, they're pretty packed in here. Maybe downtown. Let's look on this side of town. Hmm? Okay, we got green out here. Could be California. We could be pulling into a California town here. Well, we got agriculture. Well, lots of agriculture around in between the towns. There are growing crops. Okay. In between everything, there's crops. Oh, got chicken houses or poultry farms. Lots of them over here. Benny Zion, another small town. Okay, so they got an economy going. It's no longer a desolate desert like it used to be. So they've irrigated and everything. Why are they begging money? And why are they controlling our Federal Reserve? Also learned something else back in history. When the Romans tore down the temple, the original temple, they tore it completely down. What is left, what they call the Wailing Wall, is actually part of a Roman fortress. Well, imagine that. So, what Jesus said about no stone will be left standing, in 70 AD, the Romans came and completely destroyed every stone, so there would be no place for them to come back to. Now, we're going to have to do some more studying of what happened in 70 AD, but this being the case, our politicians that are successful and want to run for president seem to all have to go over there and pay homage to this. It's something is rotten in Denmark. That's all I can say about this. Now, I'm not saying we should I'm not saying round them up. I'm not saying go to Hitler or nothing like that. But then again, I'm also saying that we don't have to be slaves to the Jews. They're doing okay. I mean, if maybe if they didn't have us to lean on so bad, they wouldn't be picking fights with everybody. I mean, that's why their military, they have 20% spent on their military, because guess what? They got us. Anyway, that's the other parts of the world. And why not do your own research on this? I mean, the Jews are anti-Christ, and yet, I mean, I understand where we should respect them, and how would you say, show them and try to show them a better way, but we shouldn't be loving the Jews more than Jesus. That's if you're a Christian. I mean that this end time mess that's fixing to happen is probably what's going to kill off most of the Israelis, because of what they're doing, until they turn to Christ in the end. So, that's probably why the United States is going to have to be taken out of the picture. economically or something. Something's going to happen where we cannot help them. We won't be able to go there and run to their aid, and then the final Armageddon and all that'll happen, and I think Israel will be run off again. It's complicated, and there's a bunch of different prophecies on it. They all pretty much point to Israel, or the Jews, are going to have to accept Jesus in the end. So, now I don't know exactly how God's going to do this, but, we've got to take back our money system. I know that, and our media system from their control, because they're controlling the media, and you're wondering why all this gay stuff is happening. Well, look who's in charge of it. Look who's in charge of what we see. And for some oddball reason, there's a disproportionate amount of them that are Jewish. So they're anti-Christian. Now, you wonder why they're pitting the blacks against the whites, and they're stirring up all this racial hatred, so we won't pay attention to what they're doing. That might be the next American Revolution, just to take our country back. First, we'll have to take back the Federal Reserve. Some people say, end the Fed. No, we don't end the Fed. We take it back. It's ours. Take our money system back. The bank will become ours. And then, to pay off all that trillions of dollars we owe them other countries, we'll just print it up and pay them with it. Yeah, there you go. We'll just print up the money, pay them off, and we'll be debt-free. That way, the Federal Reserve, that's what we're paying, a bunch of Rothschilds and Soros and, what's them other guys that run the Federal Reserve Bank, which isn't even accountable to our government. So maybe if the United States did go bankrupt, we'll just blame it on the Federal Reserve and say, well, okay, there, you can have that little building. The rest of the country is, still ours. Of course, that would start a war. China's buying up our property right now like crazy, because all that debt that they bought, well, they're taking those dollars that they bought up, and they're buying up all our ports and stuff. It's already done. They're buying up land like crazy here. So it's kind of weird, but I'll put a couple of links down there. One of them to a Jew saying why he left Judaism and stuff, and you decide for yourself. I mean, do the research and look at who's running the country, and ask why, if the Jewish population only comprises let's say 10% of the world's population, why are they controlling 80% of the corporations? I call that disproportionate. So something is definitely fishy here. And I'm just going to call attention to it, and that way you can be informed. And when you go to vote and stuff like that, you can make informed decisions. You need to know what's going on, and maybe vote for that independent candidate. Okay, stop.